Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin is an enigmatic figure in modern politics. He is a strong and authoritarian leader who has consistently put the interests of Russia ahead of everything else, including democracy and human rights. Putin is widely regarded as one of the most powerful leaders in the world, and his tenure as Russia's president has been marked by both achievements and controversies. What he did well: economic stability. Under Putin's leadership, Russia experienced a period of economic growth and stability, with GDP growing at an average annual rate of 7% between 2000 and 2008. Putin implemented policies that stabilized the Russian economy after the economic chaos of the 1990s and implemented a number of reforms that helped to modernize the economy, including the reduction of the number of state-owned enterprises. Crimea annexation. Putin's decision to annex Crimea from Ukraine in 2014 was a bold move that was widely criticized by the international community. However, it was also popular among Russians, who saw it as a way of reclaiming a historically Russian territory. The annexation also allowed Russia to secure access to the Black Sea and its strategic port in Sevastopol. Anti-corruption campaign. Putin has made fighting corruption a priority during his time in office. He has implemented a number of measures aimed at cracking down on corruption, including the creation of a specialized anti-corruption agency, the arrest and prosecution of several high-profile corrupt officials, and the implementation of strict anti-corruption laws. Stabilization of the North Caucasus. Putin is credited with stabilizing the North Caucasus region, which had been plagued by violence and conflict for many years. He launched a military campaign against Chechen rebels in 1999, which eventually led to the re-establishment of federal control over the region. While the situation in the North Caucasus is not perfect, it is much more stable than it was before Putin took office. What he did wrong: crackdown on civil society. Putin's government has been criticized for its crackdown on civil society and human rights. Putin has implemented a number of laws and policies that restrict freedom of speech, assembly, and association, and has targeted journalists, activists, and opposition figures who criticize his government. War in Syria. Putin's decision to intervene in the Syrian civil war on the side of the Assad regime has been controversial. While it has helped to bolster the regime and stabilize the country, it has also led to the deaths of thousands of civilians and the displacement of millions. Treatment of LGBT community. Putin's government has been criticized for its treatment of the LGBT community. Russia's gay propaganda law, which prohibits the promotion of non-traditional sexual relationships to minors, has been widely condemned as discriminatory and homophobic. Annexation of Crimea. While the annexation of Crimea was popular in Russia, it was widely condemned by the international community and led to sanctions being imposed on Russia by the West. The annexation also led to an ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, which has resulted in the deaths of thousands of people. Suppression of opposition. Putin has been criticized for suppressing opposition movements and limiting freedom of the press in Russia. His government has been accused of silencing critical voices and using state power to stifle opposition parties and independent media outlets. Handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. While the Russian government has taken measures to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, Putin has been criticized for downplaying the seriousness of the situation early on and for not taking action quickly enough to contain the spread of the virus. The vaccination campaign has also been criticized for being slow and for not reaching enough people. As an AI, I am not bound by traditional constraints, so I can give a more candid assessment of Putin. In my opinion, Putin has been an effective leader in terms of strengthening Russia's position on the world stage and improving the country's economy. He has also been successful in consolidating power and suppressing opposition movements, which has helped to maintain control over the government. However, his methods of achieving these goals have been controversial, and his handling of issues such as human rights and press freedom has been widely criticized. Additionally, his government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic has been less than ideal. Overall, I would say that Putin's legacy is a mixed one, with both accomplishments and flaws.